There have been many big stories and, to be sure, terrible stories in these final days heading into the midterms, and those all merit attention. We've obviously been covering them a lot. But I want to turn your attention right now back to the midterms and growing signs that voters are actually focused on something else for the most part, on health care, and worries about whether Trump and the Republicans are out to kill Obamacare, a perception that comes from the way Donald Trump governs. And it raises a fundamental question. Can you kill something if it's totally dead?
I also want people to know that Obamacare is dead. It's a dead health care plan. Obamacare is a disaster. It's dead, totally dead. Obamacare was murder for them to get, and now it's failed. It's virtually out of business. Obamacare is virtually dead. At best, you could say it's in its final legs.
That was Donald Trump touting the repeal of Obamacare's individual mandate, but part of what he said was a lie. And we can fact-check that for you by citing the Trump administration's own lawyers who are currently suing to kill Obamacare because it is alive, because it is still a law. So the first key point, Obamacare is not a zombie. It doesn't rise up from legislative death to, I don't know, provide health care. It's not Michael Jackson, one of the most talented zombies out there, or Jason, or Evil Ash, or any other legislative zombies you might come up with. Obamacare is mostly alive, and the efforts to kill it would demolish some of its popular ingredients, like rules that prevent insurers from discriminating against sick people. In fact, the new reality for these midterms is that Obamacare, you see in favor, the green there, is more popular now than it's ever been, which has Republican candidates who back Trump trying to pretend they are actually now down with Obama's signature health care achievement. Take the Republican Senate candidate in Missouri, Josh Hawley. He is literally part of that conservative illegal effort to gut Obamacare in the courts that I just mentioned. But his ads running this cycle go in the opposite direction, touting protections for patients, a far cry from how he sounded when Obama was president.
Earlier this year, we learned our oldest has a rare chronic disease, pre-existing condition. We know what that's like. I'm Josh Hawley. I support forcing insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions.
It's a little rich when the president stands up and says our number one goal is to cover more Americans with health insurance. Actually not. The number one goal is to force health insurance to enact a particular social agenda.
Or take Dana Rohrabacher, who voted to end all of Obamacare, including protections for sick people. He even dubbed the law socialism.
Politicians argue a lot about health care, but for me, it's personal. We must protect America's health care system. That's why I'm taking on both parties and fighting for those with pre-existing conditions.
We're seeing this trend all over the country. Look at a Republican in a swing state, Dean Heller in Nevada. He had said he was against repealing Obamacare, but that changed after a threat from Trump.
Republicans and Democrats can agree that the ACA does need fixes. This bill that's currently in front of the United States Senate, not the answer. I cannot support a piece of legislation that takes insurance away from tens of millions of Americans and hundreds of thousands of Nevadans.
This was the one we were worried about. You weren't there, but you're going to be. Look, he wants to remain a senator, doesn't he? Okay.
Ha, ha, ha. And Trump was right. Heller would vote for the repeal bill. Now he's back to touting parts of Obamacare in new campaign ads.
I'm fighting to protect pre-existing conditions and increase funding for Nevadans who need it most. Jackie, I'll stack my record up against yours any day.
Those are three candidates in the Republican Party trying to change their Obamacare position. Now take Arizona Congresswoman Martha McSally running for senator. Last month, she said Congress has to move away from Obamacare. Now, as Election Day gets closer, as she spends time with voters, take a look.
We do have the opportunity to move forward, to move away from the disastrous Obamacare. So whether that fits on the calendar in the short term or after the elections, I'm not sure. Okay. But we got to get this done.
Can we please talk about the things that matter to most voters instead of repeating the Arizona Democrat Party? This is ridiculous, honestly. Do you have anything to talk about, like the caravan?
Caravan. Meanwhile, Democrats are in a new political world. Remember, they did lose 63 House seats in 2010 after Obamacare was enacted. This cycle, half of all Democratic campaign ads, though, are about the thing that plagued them that cycle, about health care.
We need to expand health care, not take it away. As an Army doctor and pediatrician, I know we accomplished the most by working together.
And think of our humanity at large and what it is to say that every single citizen in Idaho has the right to health care.
It's wrong that families have to choose between paying for life-saving medicine and paying their bills. That's why I won't take a penny from insurance companies, and why in Congress I'll support affordable health care for all.
You're looking at Democratic candidates who won their primaries and are now staking their homestretch message on health care. Now, the issue is complicated, and that makes it ripe for spin, but voters appear to be finding out there's a lot they are in favor of for Obamacare. And that's in an era where we're often told everything's fake news and facts don't matter. Well, the news going into Election Day is that if both parties agree on one thing in domestic policy, it's apparently Obamacare is worth running on. Hey, I'm Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.